How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla, and welcome back to Tyranny. Now, we are back at Ironhearth, and we are going to make our report to Ash, and probably sell a bunch of shit too, because we got loads of shit. So we need to get rid of some of that. Pretty fucking desperately, because our inventory is overflowing, as usual. We'll go do that first. And then we'll talk to Ash, and we'll see where we're going from there. We haven't fully defeated the chorus yet, but they're looking pretty fucked now, to be honest. Some people there that might be worth talking to as well. Alright, anyway. I don't want these scrolls for a start. All that. All that. I don't really care about the poison either. Okay. We'll keep that. Obviously, it's a map. It'll be useful because it's a map. The Alchemist's gloves I don't think I use anymore, but we'll hang on to it anyway. I don't know. I'm sort of obsessed with hanging on to stuff. I have a hoarding problem. I have a serious hoarding problem. You know? Scrolls, that. Mushroom. Okay, that'll do. Not that I ever buy anything, but anyway, let's talk to these guys. Who are you guys? Thank the Archons you've come. I could use a hand getting out of these chains. He shifts his bearing to rattle his manacles with an apologetic smile. Quiet, prisoner. The Fatebinder doesn't need to be bothered by the likes of you. My apologies, sir. Won't happen again. I assume these chains are here for a reason? This one's a murderer. He broke Kairos' peace, and Graven Ash judged him accordingly. But you shouldn't fear. As you can see, I'm as docile as a fallen log. I was sentenced for an impulsive choice, but hardly a crime. Let me tell you my story. Go on then, present your testimony. I was in Azure during the conquest, back when Cain declared himself the enemy of Kairos. Our forces panicked. We didn't know who we could trust. When an Archon goes rogue, you can depend on his supporters falling in line. One of the Earthshakers was acting funny. Like he had something on his mind. I followed him back to the commander's tent and caught him digging through supplies. Go on. I confronted him. We argued. We fought and... The soldier cleared his throat. I killed him. I won't mince words. I thought he was a traitor and acted accordingly. Later, the Earthshakers proved loyal. More or less. Turned out the man I killed was only searching for his inkwell. Is this account accurate? To the best of my knowledge, there may have been some investigation about the Earthshaker's loyalty at the time, but it has no bearing on this conflict. So what do you want from me? I want to appeal my ruling. By the letter of the law, Graven Ash made the right decision. I don't dispute that. But the spirit of Kairos' law is another matter. I was putting down a suspected traitor, not lashing out in anger. These things happen in war. Do you both consent to my involvement in this case? The soldier appears to weigh his options. I don't approve of second-guessing Graven Ash's judgment, but as Tunon's Fatebinder, I trust you to make a worthy decision. As do I. Thank you for hearing me out. I have some questions before I make my ruling. Of course, go ahead. Was there any other reason to suspect the Earthshaker? I kept an eye on him throughout the campaign, but no, nothing substantial that I could name. I can speak to that. The truth of the matter is that we were leery of the mages since the conquest began. They seemed better at ease in a book than a battlefield. I've never trusted anyone who could read. Did you have any history of erratic behavior? None at all. I spent most of my battles supporting the phalanx from the rear. It's important duty. Even if it isn't the front lines, a lot of good soldiers depend on you. If anyone in the rear shows signs of cracking, maybe from too many blows to the head, someone always notices. True enough, in times of stress and relentless onslaught, we rely on our support infantry to help us hold the lines. Glory isn't always won in the front. I'm ready to make my ruling. Excellent. Thank you for taking the time to weigh my case. You can return to battle at the head of the phalanx. Only your strength will redeem you. Now that is a worthy solution to your problems. A pity you ended up a Fatebinder and not a chorus gang boss. You have the instincts for it. I can't tell if that's a promotion or a death sentence, but I'll take it all the same. It's a better fate for me than these chains. I can only guess how Graven Ash will feel about you interpreting his rulings. But at least you put this wretch to work. I suppose that counts for something. He unties the prisoner. Cool. And you? Who are you? Your presence is welcome as always. The disfavored have enough to accomplish. That we need all hands on deck. No. Alright, we're gonna go talk to Ash then. Let's see what happens. He's gonna be pissed off that we overturned his ruling. But you know what? Fuck him. We're the boss around here. Alright, Ash. Let's see what you want from us this time. Fatebinder. I felt something indescribable pass through me just before your arrival. Emotions of great rage and pain, followed by a moment of lingering sorrow. I suspect that something has been lost, and Taratus herself strains at the absence. Ash winces and rubs his brow. I understand that both of the spires jutting up from the ruins of Azure are now under your control. It would seem that impossible feats are no mystery to the likes of you. Impressive for Tunon's minion. Do not allow yourself to be swept up by the esteem and glory of this achievement. Were you a soldier of mine, I would temper your pride with modesty. Kieran is dead, Ash. The Archon of Stone fallen. Ash turns his gaze out to Ironhearth, settling it on nothing. I thank you, Fatebinder. This was a long time coming. Cairn's betrayal was inexcusable, and a death sentence from a lawful hand is no more or less than he deserved. What's more, you are commended for resolving an edict of Kairos and putting down an Archon at once. He pulls on the end of his beard and frowns. Let's see. Cairn was simply another pest to swat. I have my doubts about starving the chorus. On to the next order of business. What happens to the Scarlet Chorus from here? The crops grown for our enemies will have withered on the vine. By now the Archon's forces are clutching their stomachs and tightening their belts as we starve them out. Ash stands tall and beams at the thought. A fair reward for more than fair service to the Legion. Ash nods with gratitude and hands you a heavy hammer wrapped in cloth. The Earthshakers and Forgebound conceived of this, and I can think of no wielder more deserving than you, Fatebinder. Sweet, new hammer. Fatebinder. Breathless, the officer snaps to attention. No time for pleasantries or ceremony, your spire is under attack. The Scarlet Chorus have ramped up their offensive, and they mean to topple your stronghold. With you atop it if need be. I feared something like this might happen. An act of desperation from the voices of Narat. He's either too much of a coward to attack Ironhearth, or his forces are too weak. Either way, you will need to answer this threat with blood. Are you lying to me, soldier? Fatebinder, this accusation is beneath you and embarrasses us all. You should know better than to distrust my soldiers. He blinks. What? No, the chorus gangs are assembled outside your spire. You need to take action at once. Fine, I'll check on my spire, but don't try anything while I'm gone. What would I even... Bewildered, the officer waves the matter aside and regards you with impatience. Good luck at your spire, then. Which spire are they at, exactly? Vendrian's Well. Okay. Let's go, then.
Yes.
To Vendrian's Well. Oh, we had to check out that hammer, yo. Is it awesome? Is it fantastic? 6.71. Oh, it's one-handed. How about you, Barrett? Can you use it? It's not even as good as what you've got. Never mind. Carry on. Actually, does it have any special ability or anything? Weighted. Eh. Not interested. It's nice. It's nice to have. I don't really have much use for it, that's all. Yeah, I feel ungrateful. Alright. Okay, we are at Vendrian's Well Spire. Greetings, Fatebinder. The Iron Guard salutes you with a clattering salute. Our oath-bound scouts alerted us to the chorus assault on your spire, and Lord Ash insisted we send aid at once. I've assembled The massive sculpture rumbles, shaking the masonry of the spire and sending her off balance. What is happening? That thing's moving? Dude, is it the Eye of Sauron? I hope so. The orb in the center of the resonator spins with the push of some unseen force. Where the structure once exuded warmth, it now gives off a ferocious heat that singes your face the longer you stare into it. A sound like music swarms in the air around the structure, but it's painful and disharmonious to your ears. Disharmonious. Shielding himself from the heat, Lantry has to shout above the discordant music. The energies of this place are swirling about you alone. Can you feel it? Can't you? Can't you hear that damnable music? He claws at the back of his head. Do you feel anything different? The energy seems focused on you. Does it hurt? Spire is now fully awake. Its long dormant currents of energy dance to your presence. Crouching to the ground to steady himself, Eranos stays low to the ground until the trembling subsides. Feels like something is shaking the spire. The chorus can't pull off that sort of magic. What in Kairos' name is going on? The spire often communicates in visions. Perhaps it's its way of saying it has something to discuss. I don't suppose this magical spire of yours has some warding magic or something of that ilk. She points down toward the chorus troops amassing below. Unshakable courage and superior training will only take us so far against that larger force. The spire resonates my voice. I'll shout to the valley that I have an edict from Kairos. That should get them running. Considering the average intellect and cunning of our foe, I think such a feint would at least thin the crowd. Use the resonator. The mystic hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your command. Touch the resonator and concentrate. Prepare yourselves, I have an edict to proclaim. As you touch the stone structure, your sense of the movement slows, and you feel the entirety of the tears at your fingertips. The spire stands ready to channel your will. We can actually issue an edict? No way. Select a region to view its current edict or issue a new one. Vendrian's Well. The Edict of Stone leeches magical energy from the sky and living creatures, storing at the rocks below. This energy can lead to earthquakes and slow petrification of the living. A massive storm that covers huge areas of the world. The chaotic energy unleashed will cause random damage to strike your enemies during combat. That's awesome. Can we do it anywhere? Just here. Well, I want the Edict of Storms. We can actually proclaim edicts now? We are the Overlord now. That's what I've always wanted. Yeah. Have fun with that, you Scarlet Chorus bastards. What in Graven Ash's name? The Iron Marshal turns about, taking in the view in all direction, but Kairos didn't give an edict to read. So, how did... Having broken the edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in a limited fashion. You did that? Her hand grasps for her chest, but only Kairos can cast an edict. And now that you've seen what I can do with your own eyes, you can tell others. Your voices carry the weight of the Overlord's magic. She dips into a bow. I should not have doubted you. The chorus have no idea what they've just walked into. The Iron Marshal smashes her gauntlets together with a quiet chuckle. Binder, let us strike now. We must seize the moment and swing their panic into a rout. Hoisting her blade in hand, Eranos moves towards the exit. Fatebinder, I will get the carnage started. Join me when you're ready, and we'll deal with whatever rabble remains. Dude, we are so the overlord right now. Defeat the invaders. Okay. That's awesome. Holy shit, there's no one left. Aw, I was getting ready for a fight. I wanted a fight. There's no one left. A gang of rain-soaked scarlet chorus trails behind Death Knell, a mixture of awe and confusion resting on their faces. What foul trick are you playing, such that the weather comes to your aid? I should thank you for separating the wheat from the chaff. The sight of seeing dozens struck dead by lightning made a good show to startle the dead weights. She points back behind her shoulder, leaving the bravest with the privilege of tearing off your limbs, one joint at a time. She turns to her soldiers and let out a primal howl, her warriors echoing the battle cry in dissonant tones. With rage in their eyes, the warriors ready their weapon, eager for a fight. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. Nervous glances are exchanged between many of the warriors gathered in the courtyard. Sensing the dip in morale, Death Knell looks back with a scowl. We have the advantage of numbers, don't be spineless. Her shouts do nothing to assuage the fears. Enough talk, you'll be trampled and forgotten. Only the voices of Narat will remember your name. More okay. Let's do this, shall we? I want to kill this mage. He's a worry. He's a problem. Kill the mage. Murder him.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Yeah, we're handling this fine. We're okay. Good call. Good call to kill this one. We got a few wounds, but we're okay. Well, actually, none of us are wounded, but we got a few injuries. Okay, none of us are injured either. You know what I mean. Our health is a little bit low on some people. Don't run away. We just want to be friends, right? Bye. Kill him. Or her, or whatever. That it? Muffled laughter comes from Eranos' great helm. That's right, you filthy peasants. Run for your lives. Tell Narat what you saw here. The chorus is running in every direction, scattered to the winds, as it were. The few brave enough to stand their ground against your edict of storms are dead. The day is ours. Leave the cleanup to me and my brethren. You should take your rightful place perched atop the spire. No better way to savor this victory than with a commanding view of your enemy fleeing across the valley. I like this lady. She is awesome. You can work for us, I reckon. Because I like you. You're awesome. Ooh, what is this? The Crimson Great Spear. Ooh. That's pretty cool too. Do we have anything else really nice and shiny and awesome? I hope so. Lightning better not hit me or I'll be pissed off, man. I called on you, Lightning. Don't hit me. Can we get out here? No. Lame. Oh, there's something. Okie dokie. Right. What's up here? Onto the battlement. Nothing, it would appear.
Curious.
Oh, there's something. Changed my mind. There is something. Alright, looks like we're going back to our spire. To savor. I want to savor this. I like savoring. Savor the flavor of Scarlet Chorus death. Now Chorus is going to be pissed off with us. Shocked and demoralized by your display of power, and the ease with which you dispatch their leader, the Scarlet Chorus fighters lose their nerve and scatter in defeat. The survivors carry with them the fearful murmurs of the powerful Archon Sixkilla, a being of enormous might who can cast an edict with the same authority as the overlord. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misfortune, one fact remains consistent. The overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. The high winds of your edict sweep the air, Dashing debris against your spire, torrential rain falls, hitting hard enough to bruise bare skin. Lightning strikes the ground, endangering anyone out in the open. It isn't long before the storm begins to wane, slowly falling from a gale to a light rainstorm, and after a few days it becomes a simple breeze. Eventually the skies calm as your edict dissipates, releasing Vendrian's well from its grip. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps from the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get started than Kalio, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. Think we just made enemies in high places, yo. I keep hearing about this little spy you've been calling your own. Nodding with a smirk, Fatebinder Kalio peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. What did I do to get a visit from a Fatebinder? Do you have an edict to proclaim against me? A fair guess. I was expecting Tunon to hand me a scroll case with Kairos' seal on it. She shakes her head with a chuckle. After what you just pulled, I'd have wagered my last ring that Kairos would cast a very selective edict against you, but alas, the Overlord has other plans in mind. No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days, Sixkilla. They all say you spoke an edict of storms. Not a proclamation of an edict of Kairos, but your own edict of storms. Your own mystical storm. You're no mere Fatebinder, of that much we can be certain. You've proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edicts perhaps one too many times. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Taratus that the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder. Proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers, it should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp. But I still find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleashed something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it is the work of an Archon. Beastwoman will follow Alpha from here to end of Tierlands, and further still. We'll prowl deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together, Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter the whole of Prima's tribe. I don't have any idea how you're able to do this, but it isn't power that any scholar can wield. This is something else. You're not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it from a book. You're more like an Archon, where it just comes naturally. She shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? You've known me a long time. My greatness shouldn't be a surprise. I assume that means you'll be addressing me as Overlord now? Jesus Christ. I'm still not sure this power is entirely my own, or what it all means. It means you're strong, dummy. Stronger than any gang boss in the tiers, any officer in the Legion, maybe stronger than... I don't even know. Consider Kairos had a first edict, one of storms, I believe. And there weren't always long recitations to go with those early edicts. I would assure you, Kairos had to learn to walk before running, just like you. That's troubling. I was sure hoping you'd be at least as informed of your talent as you are capable of invoking it. If you're careless, you could cause untold harm with your power. Curious. She taps her chin in thought, looking at you from head to toe. Suppose you have no reason to play the fool. I'll say, however, it is that you came to this power. Know that you've drawn the attention of the Overlord, so... congratulations, I think? I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Kalio clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kairos has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one, and only one Archon is fit to rule the tiers. To that end, the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon fit to inherit the tiers. And the second decree? Kairos has decreed that you are the newest Archon. Fatebinder Kalio bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you. And the other way around. Her face becomes a beaming smile. See? This is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. What if we don't fight? What if we ignore the order? And to be clear, this is the command from Kairos, but not an edict. Correct. There is no edict backing this order. She smiles a toothy grin. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded Kairos' peace. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Kairos knows, rightly so, that enmities new and old will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Kalia shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? I've heard enough and I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to me or die. I have a close alliance with Graven Ash. This order will complicate things to say the least. Let's go with that. Keep in mind, the order is that all must submit to one Archon or die. So you and Ash don't necessarily have to come to blows. Not sure how you convince them to bow to you. What of the court? Have you heard what Tunon and Bleed and Mark think of this? As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of Pumice, but Bleed and Mark seems almost giddy. I think the old Shadow is already putting names on his dagger. I was wondering if Bleed and Mark would hear this order and promptly stab Tunon, but no. It would seem the Archon of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. She clears her throat, her voice growing somber. You'll have to deal with them too. And I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Bleed and Mark too proud to accept you as his better. She nods quietly for a long moment. There is no way this ends well for some of us. I've heard enough, and I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will, or die. First step is deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons. Kalia offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Bleed and Mark and Tunon, I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. A question me and the other binders have been asking. Can you do this again? Nunoval believes in you. Another who shall remain nameless takes a more cynical stance, that the Overlord has a hand so far up your ass she can puppet your mouth and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me? I think you have it in you. Or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. I have something in mind for the voices of Narat. I'll issue an edict upon cacophony in the Stone Sea. Oh, the tears are about to get a lot more interesting with that attitude. Kalio nods with a satisfied grin, rubbing her belly. I can taste their lamentations already. With a nod, Kalio begins to make her way to the exit. When you rule Taratus, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we're clear, you did just issue an edict, right? Lantry taps his quill on his tongue, unsure of what next to write. First you cast an edict, then fulfill on War of Archons. This whole chapter of the Chronicle it's reading like fiction. Sycharis has ordered that all Archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain. I think we can safely say that the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrack's helmet, devoid of any cogent words. Alpha, birthed own words of power like humans, Prima called Kairos, is better mystic than Broodmother to kills in shadow, than Stonestalker's 100 blood, than Beastwoman Archon slaughtered by marks of shadows. She snorts and grins savagely. Kills in Shadow knew Alpha was the most powerful human in whole Tears Land. A curved claw taps the side of her snout. Nose was not wrong. One last thing. Hesitating before she leaves, Kalio taps the parchment she's been holding over her forehead with a self-deprecating scoff. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summon from Bleedin' Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully, as a part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Fatebinder. Archon, the great general, has pulled his troops back to Ironhearth. She grinds her knuckles into her palm, Soon we'll make our final push into Stone Sea, and clear the heart of Scarlet Chorus power. The voices of Narata's weak, and the path to Cacophony is clear. She adopts a more cautious tone. The Archon is also aware of what happened in Vendrian's Well. I'm sure he wants to discuss the matter in person. I'll consider the request. I wouldn't spend too long considering. You've demonstrated incredible power, and this is a time for action. I'll send Ash a bird, so he knows to expect you later, if not right away. Take care how you treat Graven, Ash. You're no mere Fatebinder any longer. You'll meet with him as Archon to Archon, and such things are more complicated. Good luck. Alright, Archon Sixkilla, that's me, right? Alright, this has run on way too long, but I just wanted to get that all out of the way. It looks like the next step of our adventure is afoot. Alright, so I'm going to leave this episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.